Yeah, thanks. So yeah, guys, like I said, um, the DG code, the IMDG code, and I've been saying it from the start of this lecture, especially if you are going for your orals or you're going for any interview or you need to know, the IMDG code is incorporated in three books, which is the IMDG code volume 1, IMDG code volume 2, and 3. The third one is the IMDG supplement. And the IMDG supplement contains the EMS, that's the emergency procedures for what is needed. And the IMDG volume 2 is what we call the DG list itself. So this contains the whole lots of DG lists that are classified under the IMDG code, and then it brings down the characteristics of whatever we're going to do. And I will come down to it when we are dealing with this example. And the IMDG volume 1 itself talks about a lot of other loads of other things, which is one, the packing, the segregation, the segregation, the storage, the level of danger itself, the special provisions, the limited quantity, the packaging of it, a portable tank, other instructions that will be needed. And that's what the IMDG Volume 1 speaks about. Now, the major bulk of this lesson is where I'm concentrating now, which is how do you use an IMDG DG list given to you, an IMDG UN number, to find out the characteristics as well. Now that we've known about the IMDG code, now that we've known about what a DG list is, now that we've known about what the packing group of the DG list is, then how do we now bring this all together? So when we are receiving any, when we're receiving any good, any dangerous good, we're going to be receiving what we call a dangerous good declaration. As you can see on the screen that I am currently sharing, we'll see on the screen that I'm currently sharing, you see a dangerous good declaration, and that is where you will see the shipper putting in the details of the DG goods. So now the most important part of a DG good is the UN number, like I said last week, the UN number and another thing called the PSN, which is the proper shipping name. And we dealt with this last week as well. We dealt with the understanding of the UN number and the proper shipping name of any goods given to us. So let's start again from where I stopped last week. I'll pick someone. Olatobi, if you are there, I'll pick you to go first. If you're on board or you have the IMDG code, this is just the best way for you to try and bring it out, and then you try and tally it together. So, Olatobi, if you can look at the screen and then you try and tell me, oh, sorry, you try and tell me, sorry, I'm just gonna pick one of the DG stuff there. And this was kind of the exercise that we did last week as well. So yeah, did you see the first DG good up there? What's it? What's the UN number? What's the proper shipping name?
UN number, sorry, I'm trying to.
What?
First one is 1671.
Okay. So that means you've seen it now. So now let's start again now from the beginning now. So if there's someone is asking you, so can you give us the properties of this? So starting with UN number, the name and the class, just explain it. I mean, say it for us, please. There is no, just say it and I'll correct you where it needs to be corrected.
Okay, you want me to say the UN number and then the class, correct?
Yeah, the UN number, the name and the class, please.
Okay, the UN number is 1671.
Okay, pause there. So for UN number, please, when we are describing or when we are telling anyone any UN number, when we are writing it out there, the UN number must start with UN 1671. UN 1671. And there's been some couple of mistakes from some candidates and as well as in other interviews where people just start with using the 1671. Some might find it okay, but some also might really find it not impressive in any way. So please, when we're starting on giving any description with the UN number, it's very, very important. The UN number is always a 4 digits number, but we need to start it with UN 1671. So can you come again, please?
Okay, the UN number is UN 1671. The name and description. Can I go ahead? Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, name and description is phenol solid.
That's good. What class is class 6.1?
Class 6.2.
Can you see my screen here?
Yes, I can. Okay, class 6.1 is poisonous toxic.
Poisonous toxic substances. Okay, poisonous toxic substances. So let's go back again to the DG list. So yeah, so we have the class to be poisonous toxic substances,
Okay.
and there's what we call subsidiary risks. Does anybody understand subsidiary risks? Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to ask another person to give me this, and I will explain what a subsidiary risk is. Because this one has a subsidiary risk, and we discussed about this, but we'll discuss it today again. Peter, good evening. Give me the first one on the screen, starting from the first information down to the just like how Toby has said it.
Okay, yeah, the first one is UN 1695. The name and description is chloroacetone stabilized.
Okay.
Then the division is, the class is 6.1.
6.1. I was 6.1.
Battery low.
6.1 is
Please
poisonous
charging.
toxic substances.
Thank you. Poisonous toxic substances. That's good. Now subsidiary risks. Did you see the next item on the table?
Yes, subsidiary risks.
So subsidiary risks. Now, for every dangerous goods that we have, what makes them to be classified, under a particular class of an IMDG is their quality, the characteristics that they exhibit, but more so the hazard that they are presenting to human environment, to the marine environment, and to the marine properties. Are you following? So now when we say stuffs like class 6.1, which is poisonous toxic substances, then we should know that no, the characteristics that these toxic substances has is more poisonous. It's form, it goes in conformation and it conforms to class 6.1, whatever this particular DG, whatever this particular DG item is. Are you following me? So if this DG item it falls under classification of what this poisonous toxic substance is, they will class it under 6.1. However, it doesn't stop there because some substances can have much more diverse hazard. Diverse hazard in the sense that they can be able to have the characteristics of the poisonous toxic substances, and also they can also have characteristics of what's class 3, everybody? Inflammable liquids. 2, inflammable liquids. So they can have poisonous toxic substances, inflammable liquids, and guess what again? Then they can still have class 8, corrosive. So what we're looking at here is actually one DG item or one one DG item or one DG good having 3 classes. But why do we have one class permanently on a separate side, and then with remaining classes 3 and 8 called subsidiary? It's because they present more of the class 6.1 poisonous toxic substances, but they also present the class 3 and the class 8. Are you following? So that's why we have a main class and a subsidiary. I mean, 2 subsidiaries for this one. So when we're dealing with this one, we're also going to be dealing with it the way we are also dealing with 6.1, 3, and for 8 corrosive. So now, can we come again? Who was answering for me the other time? Was it NJ or Peter? Oh, Peter. So can we come again now? Now that you've understand this, and you tell me what are these classes? I mean, what's this goods?
I should name it again.
Yeah.
Okay, the first one on the list is UN 1695.
What is that? That's the UN number. So
Yes,
I need
the
to
UN
say it that way. You just say, okay, so the UN number is UN 16 what?
95. Okay, sir.
Thank
So the
you.
UN number is 1695.
Mm-hmm.
The name and description is fluoroacetone stabilized. And the
Yeah.
class is class 6.1, which is a poisonous toxic substance. Then
Yeah.
its subsidiary risk is 3 and 8. That's 3 is inflammable substances and is also corrosive.
Thank you very much. That's just description. That's a full description of um any substances when we are dealing with the classes too. The classes of it as well. So some other goes, and some of people, like last week, someone was confused that why is there 3 and then there's 8? Is it not 3.8? No. If you have it 1 on top and 1 below, please and please, it's going to be 2 different, entirely different classes of packaging as well. Now moving on to the UN packing group. The UN packing group I explained to us last time, and I'm just going to bring out the note for it. Yeah, and I explained to us that the packing group itself are in 3 places. We have the packing group in 3 places, and the packing group 1 really shows that, oh, it's most dangerous, and then the packing group 2 shows it's of medium medium danger, and packing group 3 shows its least danger. So when we're dealing with a packing group, we will see which packing group not everyone has it, but the ones that has a UN packing group, we will see them in their DG list. And that's when we're going to be going down straight to our own volume 1 and checking what's the requirements in the packing group. Is everybody following? What's the requirements in the packing group? So first thing first is get the UN number, get the name and description, get the class, get the subsidiaries, and then get the packing group. So the packing group 1 will be able to tell us what it entails, what we're looking for, and what we're not looking for inside as well. Then we now have what we call the special provisions. The special provisions, I'll come down to the notes here, and you see that the special provisions just entails and tells us, like I was describing last week, and it comes and it tells us what extra provisions is it that we are required to have with all this stuff too as well. What are the extra needs that we need to know when we are carrying this particular goods? But when we're looking at that, then we will need to go back to we need to go back to volume 1 and check what the special provision is. We go back to volume 1 and check what the special provision is, and then we'll come back. Now, majorly, not all of them have special provisions as well, but the ones that have special provisions, like for example, we have 1704 and is tetraethylene 6.1, packing group 2, and special provisions 43. So if I'm having special provisions 43, what I'll need to go down is go check is anybody on board having the IMDG code there?
I get you, sir.
Okay, just 1 second. Let me try to open my own. Yeah, so while I'm doing that, I would just like somebody else to give another go on UN 1700. Prince, are you there? November Juliet.
Can I try, sir?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Okay, the UN number for 1700, UN 1700.
Yeah.
Name and description is tear gas cylinders, or
Yeah.
candles, sorry, tear gas candles. The class or is it class or division? Class or division is 6.1, which is toxic toxic substance. So I can't remember that. Then
So come again. So the class is what?
6.1, sir.
Yeah, okay. What's let me open it for you. What's 6.1 from the screen there?
Poisonous toxic substance.
Thank you. Poisonous toxic substance. Okay.
Yeah, so the subsidiary risk is 4.1. I seriously did not get it when you shared the slide because I was having network issues.
4.1.
Yes, 4.1.
Can you see it?
Not yet.
It's inflammable solid.
Flammable solid, correct?
4.1 inflammable solid.
Okay, 4.1 inflammable solid. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. And yeah, so what's the packing group?
Packing group is 2.
Okay,
Roman.
and what's two?
I was away when you shared that also.
Okay, so I'm just gonna repeat it again. I'll say the packing group gives us the level, and it gives us the level of the danger that this group presents as well, and the importance of really making sure that this. Someone is typing something. Yeah, the importance of making sure that this particular group is well packaged, but also the way the packing group works is to really try and minimize it to the barest minimum. So if we have a very, very high cargo, then the packing group, we have a very high hazardous and dangerous cargo. The packing group for it will be much more than a lesser one. Are you following me? To be much more than a lesser one. So I started by saying the packing group, when you see packing group 1, it's maximum danger, 2, medium, and 3, it's minimal danger as well. Did you get that?
Yes, I got that, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay. Any question on that, please?
On my side, none.
Anyone with any question? I wish this was kind of the I wish this was kind of the in a class where yeah, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Though it's my first time since I just started this IDMG, but my question would take you guys really back. I don't know if I should go ahead with it.
Your question is what? Sorry, come again.
Yes, I said I just joined today for this IDMG, so you guys have gone far. I know, but I said my question was kind of taking you guys pretty back. But like where Olatobi just talked about, which is a UN number 1701. Now I want to know. After I see that the class of division and all that, but I didn't see where the like corrosive, toxic and all that. I don't know where it's sitting. How do I know with all these like that UN 170, which is 170, which is daggers and candles? How do I know the kind of danger or something related to it? Over.
To be honest, it's not audible. Did anybody catch that? I would like to answer that. Did anybody catch that and can interpret it for me? It's not really audible. Or Prince, you want to like just quickly drop me a message if anybody caught that as well.
Okay, I will do that. I will do that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, just quickly, just drop me a message on that. So and I will follow up immediately as well on that. So yeah, I was coming back to the special provisions that is needed, and the special provisions for especially the one that we just spoke about is 1704, and it says 43, and then I'm opening my IMDG. So just going on my because I was looking for it on the internet, I couldn't find it. Yeah, so I opened my IMDG code, and for the special provision, you will still find it in the volume 2. So in the special provisions, we have, for the volume 2, we have the DG list and the special provisions. So immediately after the DG list, you come down to, if anywhere you can see it right there on the screen there, you come down to the last side of it, and where it says special provisions applicable to certain substances, materials, or articles. Special provisions applicable to certain substances, materials, or articles, and they all have numbers. Well, they all have different kind of numbers. That's 3.1. So we have 16, 23, and the numbers goes up to thousands. But coming down to, I'm gonna try and move this. But coming down to 1704. Coming down to 1004, still on your volume 2. On your volume 2, you will find 43. And what is 43 telling you? It said, when offered for transport as pesticide, these substances, that's any substance that you see 43, is referring here. These substances shall be transported under the relevant pesticide entry and in accordance with the relevant pesticide provisions as well. So what it's trying to tell you is, if this kind of good comes to you, and they are offered to be transported and they are tagged like, oh, these guys are pesticides, then what you should do is they should be transported under the normal appropriate pesticide entry. So let's look for another special provisions again. Like I said, guys, when we're dealing with this, we go first of all from the UN number to the proper shipping name to the 6.1. The 6.1 in volume 1, it will tell you, the 6.1 in volume 1, it will tell you what class of cargo is this as well. Then the subsidiary is the same thing as well, but still back again in the volume 2, which we are using to check this whole thing. And like I said, guys, the DG list is always found in the volume 2 of your IMDG code. So 279, this is how we read, this is how we are able to interpret the IMDG code. So 279, I'm looking at 17 UN number 1708, UN number 1708, and the special provisions is 279. So it said these substances are assigned to this classification. Sorry, the substances is assigned to this classification of packing group based on human experience rather than strict application of the classification criteria set out in this code. So now what they're trying to tell us here, especially for 1708, is apart from the strict guidance that we are putting out in the IMDG code as well, this kind of cargo, which is UN 1708, should be based on, also should be, in addition to that, should also be based on human experience, because there is no set down rule for everyone to follow with those kind of goods, meaning they are flexible in their own way. So the way you can deal with the first one might differ from the way you deal with the second one too. And that's what is really trying to really portray for the special provision. Let's go ahead and see the question that was on the screen. Olatobi, you say it's blank. Can you see it?
All right, just came up now. Thank you.
Okay. Sorry. Prince is saying, I was saying that today is my first day in general in the class. I'm asking how to know the danger that associated with some of the classes since it is not written here. Example, UN 1700, which is tear gas. Okay. Somebody that has been here, can you help me answer that now? This is really an oral question, so I'll really take this question. This is a very brilliant question, Prince. I'm going to answer it, but I want to give people opportunities to answer it like they are in an oral class. So guys, starting with Olatobi, can you help me here? How are you able to know the danger associated with UN number 1700? Start it, first read it out, and then you try and let us know.
Okay, just like you took us through the class today, so we can ascertain by understanding the UN number, and then we go back to the name description. Then afterwards, the 6.1. I cannot remember the heading now, but
6.1 is toxic substances.
Yeah, I know it's toxic, so but I cannot remember the heading on, like the name and description. So 6.1 now, it's talking about poisonous toxic substances.
No, it's class 6 is toxic and infectious.
Okay, it's talking about the first 6 classes, yeah?
No, I'm confused now. So we've started with the UN number, we've gone to tear gas, and now the class is 6.1. Remember that class 6 is toxic and infectious substances, and class 6 has 2 divisions. Division 6.1 is toxic substances, while 6.2 is infectious substances. Are you following?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So yeah, you've been able to, and then what's the 4.1? What's it saying under the second side of it?
The 4.1 is talking about the subsidiary risks, yeah?
Subsidiary risks, thank you. And what's 4.1? don't get it. Let's not go there. It's majorly 4.1 is flammable solids. Okay. So why are we having it
inflammable or
in
flammable?
what?
Inflammable or flammable solid?
No.
Okay,
4.1
flammable
is
solid.
flammable.
Yes, flammable
Flammable
solid.
solid. Flammable
Okay.
solid, please. Yeah. So why is it under subsidiary risks? What's it trying to tell us there?
Flammable solid.
Yeah, so why is it under subsidiary risks? What's it trying to tell us there? What's the
That's
that what? Anybody can help him.
Okay.
maybe the
Can
level
I?
of ignite is not high. Okay, go ahead, please.
Okay.
Yeah.
What the 4.1 is trying to say that aside the substance being a poisonous toxic substance, is also 4.1 is also telling us that it is also flammable. It's also a flammable solid, aside being a poisonous toxic substance.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So 4.1 is telling us it's still flammable, flammable solid. So now coming back to Prince's question, which is, let me just try and open that so I will not miss anything. Is asking why, I mean, since it's not written, how do you know the dangers associated with it? But I'm telling you that that's why the IMDG code has been set out, and it's set out in a way that it classifies all these under different classes. So I'll come down to this note that I'm about to do here now, which is, can everybody see my screen? What's it written there? 4.1. Is that what it's showing there? Hello? Okay, yeah, so 4.1, that's what it's showing there. And any DG, any dangerous good or article that you find under 4.1, you need to know that they are flammable solid and they are self-reactive substances, and they are what? They are desensitized explosive too, as well. They are desensitized explosive. And why do we have all this classified? Because especially immediately you've just been able to say 4.1, you should know what kind of danger you are expecting. And that's the same thing that goes on with this tear gas itself, 6.1 and 4.1. So we'll be dealing majorly with 6.1, which is toxic substances, and we'll be dealing majorly with a toxic substances, meaning they are liable to cause death or injury or to harm human health if it's swallowed, if it's inhaled, or if it's contacted with the skin. Prince, are you hearing? So this is majorly how the IMDG code works, because it cannot come in here and tell you every single dangers of tear gas, whereas there are 1,001 that have that same tear gas. So what it's now trying to do is now classify all of them into nine different classes as well. I'm bringing out one major hazard and one subsidiary hazard. So when we now be able to get these classes, and especially from the labeling, you will see from my screen here, this 6.1, you cannot carry that tear gas without having and complying with the IMDG code without having this label that you are seeing on my screen here now. You must. I'm just trying to. Sorry, please, can you mute yourself? Yeah, thanks. If you cannot carry it, you cannot carry tear gas without having this label well pasted on the packaging of it, so that anyone that sees it from far will know that, oh, this has a major hazard that is classified under class 6. And for that, the IMDG code itself has tried to explain. If you go down to the IMDG code, the volume 1 of it, it brings down every single class that we have. It's here, and the dangers that follows those kind of class also. You will really find it inside your IMDG book as well. So it's not going to tell you, oh, tear gas, this is all the dangers. However, when you now go to your EMS, any danger, any such dangers like dangers that are under tear gas, it will also bring it under a class, but it's not just that, it's just one, it's just as the tear gas has just a specific emergency preparedness for it. There are so many others that has the same emergency preparedness, and it just relates you and reference you down to that particular number. I hope that answers your question.
Yes, clear. Thank you very much. I copy that.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we'll be going back to the DG. Sorry. Yeah, we'll be going back to the DG list, and we've discussed about packing group 2. So the packing group 2, when you see such, you go back again to your volume. To your volume 1, and you will see under your volume 1, you go down to chapter 5, and you can see, guys, you can see at the top of it, because some people will wonder like, oh, how will I be able to find where this is in the IMDG code? If you can see on the top of it, like the classification and division, you will see number 3. Did anybody see that in brackets?
Yes, sir. Can see it.
Yeah, exactly. So that means for the whole IMDG code, it has chapter 1 up to, I'm going to check now, up to chapter 18 itself. So here it stops at chapter 11, because this was the first sign of this kind of the book that I was able to get. But it goes up to chapter 18. But every single one, it can be found on the IMDG code. So if we now pick how do we know the page to go and find out the packing group? What we need to do is come down there and look at what chapter is it that is sending us to. So under the real IMDG code itself, under that number 5, you will see 2.0.1.3. 2.0.1.3, and for 2.0.1.3, then you come back again to your IMDG volume 1. Trust me, this might look a bit cumbersome, but when you practice it over and over and over again, it's really going to be very interesting. Because the reason I said this is because, one, I've been seeing so many orals report, and this happened to me when I went for orals, and they just gave me the 3 IMDG books, and like, can you give me the properties of like tear gas, just like this thing said, and how dangerous it is, what under what class? Can you tell me some properties based on this, based on what I've given you, and how to prepare yourself for picking up dangerous gas? And honestly, all these things are found inside the IMDG code. So I'm going to go to UN number 1700. We've gotten the UN number UN 1700. We've gotten the tear gas. We've gotten the class of the classification of the article, which is 6.1, and 6.1 is toxic substances. We've also gotten the subsidiary risk is 4.1, so it falls under the hazard associated with flammable substances. Then the UN packing group, you will see UN packing group in your volume 1. This is not complete because it's supposed to under that, to find it, you will see something like 2.0.1.3 under that 5. So 2.0.1.3, we come down to your IMDG code. Like I said, guys, just go down to your book and try it, practice it. You will really find this even more interesting, and the more interesting it becomes, the more you even want to do it yourself, I promise you. And for what you're saying for 2.0.1.3, it says, for packing purposes, substances other than those of classes 1, 2, 5.2, 6.2, and 7, and other self-reactive substances in 4.1 are assigned to 3 packing groups. So, because like I said, it's not all of them that have packing group. So substances in class 1, class 2, class 5, class 6, class 7, and class 4. They are not assigned to packing group, but every other ones are assigned to packing group. And that's why we have 6.1. 6.1 is assigned to packing group. and it writes here, packing group 1, it's substances that present very high danger. Packing group 2 are substances presenting medium danger, and packing group 3 are substances preventing what low danger itself. And that's just what it's going to try and tell you in your volume 1 of the packing group. Then it goes down again to special provision. I've read out what the special provision is for you. The special provision can be found in the volume 2. And like I said, under special provision, you just go down. If you have your IMDG code on board, you will see where they call it chapter 3.3. So you go down to chapter 3.3, and then you find out that, oh, what are the special provision? And like I said, chapter 3.3 is in your volume 2. Chapter 3.3 is in your volume 2. So for tear gas, it has no special provision, so there's nothing for us to check. Now, limited, time is almost gone. Limited and accepted quantity. That's where I really wanted to hammer on today, but I will keep that till again till tomorrow itself. But does anybody have an idea what limited and accepted quantity is?
Say again, please. Limited and what?
Accepted quantity.
Yeah, I think maybe the number or quantity of what we should have on board or we should carry. I just feel I'm not sure.
No, that's yeah, we get it there. Can anybody else try?
I think it has to do with the quantity that is allowed, that the vessel is allowed to, the size of vessel is allowed to carry, the quantity, and shouldn't exceed such amount, depending on the size of the vessel.
Sorry, come back again with that. I didn't catch that.
Yeah, the limited quantity, I think it has to do with the allowable quantity that this vessel is allowed to carry, depending on the size of the vessel. I think that's what he's talking about.
Okay, so what's accepted quantity?
Sir?
What's accepted quantity?
Okay, the accepted quantity is the quantity that you are not expected to go beyond. You shouldn't carry beyond that quantity.
Okay, I will pause here because I'm not going to want to confuse all of us in this. But can I ask for a favor, please? Accepted quantity and limited quantity are all based on the concept of the packing, the inner packing and the outer packing. Was it Olatobi that was answering before Peter answered? And he was almost getting there, but he still had a little more to chip in. So please, can we study what limited and accepted quantity is? And let's come back to the class and drop it on the chat, and I'll be so happy. But also we come back to the class next week and we analyze it, because limited and accepted quantity took even me some when I was doing my maths quite a long time to try and figure out what exactly this means. And it has made so many companies made a lot of mistakes. But the reason I'm saying this is because I think my first chief mate orals, that was one of the questions I failed. So that's why I want to take that question with a lot of passion. But explaining it, there are so many explanations that can be done, but they will need some foundations that should be laid. So please, Peter, Prince, Olatobi, NJ in the class as well, kind of help me get this assignment done. Find out what limited and accepted quantity. Don't give me textbook definitions. You will mess yourself up. Really understanding what's limited, what's accepted. Then when we are explaining it to each other, I would like you to just drop it in the group chat as well. But if you can. And next week, when we are explaining each other, we explain each other with full understanding. Did you get that? Can that be done? Peter, are you
Yes,
there?
sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. No problem, sir.
Afolabi, yeah. So
Okay,
please, let's look into it. I don't want textbook definition. I want your own words, the way you understand it, limited and not expected. Not expected. It's accepted. Let me try and I will type
Okay,
it.
accepted.
Yeah. EXACED.
Okay, okay,
Yes,
thank you.
limited and accepted quantity. So in your own words, just drop it. Don't give me textbook one, and I'll go and take for plagiarism. So please, in your own words, try and give me that, and let's come back. So when I'm discussing tomorrow, we are bringing in questions and we are discussing it out with full understanding. For those on board, I will really ask you that after this or watching this video again or after this class, please go back and just try start from the UN number down to limited quantities. They will talk about limited quantities next week, but try and just get what is the UN packing group and try and get one or two special provisions for any DG as well. And trust me, you will really enjoy it when you find out that, oh, I really got this stuff as well. And trust me, not everyone gets it too. But yeah, thanks everyone. I think we'll just pause here for today. And from next week, we'll continue straight from limited and accepted quantities after people have come back with their assignments as well. All right. Thank you very
Thank you
much.
so much. I appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. So I'll be seeing, nobody should run. I'll be hoping to